Today, I want to talk to y'all about your vibration and the law of attraction. Family, law of attraction is a real thing, yo. Whether you believe this or not, this ain't for everybody, but this is for the people that truly believe that there's something deeper within this reality that you can't grab a hold on, but you feel it. So your belief in it only makes you want to make sure that it really is something that truly exists within your life experience that you are partaking in, should I say. But your energy to be exact, family. You know, everybody talks about having so much money, having the biggest cars, the biggest houses, living by the bay and shit like that. Family. People think that, the physical, it transcends, everything around them. When really, your physical body, is only a vehicle for your soul and spirit to access this realm and experience it. But it wasn't programmed to experience, fantasies or ideologies like things that were misconformed or invented here, because this was not how it was supposed to go down. It was never like this. Everything was just a forest, and you had to survive in the wilderness like a lion. And if you couldn't, you weren't gonna make it far. But everybody wouldn't have made it because everybody wasn't programmed with, you know, the door or the dwelling of the soul, yo. People don't live through the soul nowadays because you don't express yourself and be authentic in a world full of motherfucking dead people. Most people, they hide who they are and need to protect who they really are within because they're afraid to show that side to the world. So, back to this video, family. I hope I didn't get deep or too deep for you, but the law of attraction, you know, the law of attraction states you can have anything that you want or you desire. So therefore, you're gonna try to do anything out of your way to make it happen, right? That's good. That means you're trying to put your energy towards something that's gonna manifest for you, either to better you or to make you feel, like you've accomplished something within your life. But the law of attraction, it only works, when you have the proper energy behind that. Everything you want in this life is a frequency. First thing you gotta realize, whether you want a house, you want a car, you want women, you want, anything at your disposal, everything is a frequency. You have to realize that. Because once you realize everything is a frequency, now you're playing with energy. Now you're dealing with something that ain't physical. You gotta work on something that you can't see, but that you feel and that you know is real. But at the same time, it's a challenge because not many people can handle boredom. They can't live with, the present moment because they run from themselves, yo. If everybody was living presently, yo, don't you think people would be acting or making, their purpose come to reality, yo? You don't just want to sit behind the window and watch your life and your brain. You want to put this shit down right here on the soil. But the law of attraction, family, the law of attraction will work for you. Yes, it will. When you have the right energy behind your intent. So work on yourself within. Tap into that dormant potential. You want to unlock Super Saiyan 4? Work on that internal combustion. Your soul is like the engine for the vehicle. Your spirit is not the gas, but let's just say it is everything that makes up the engine, which are the pieces, the scraps, the metals, and depending on your energy and how much you keep it within reservoir, or the more you feed your soul, the more you get sunlight, the more you eat better, you are giving that fuel to, your latest creation, which is your invention, your body, the way it runs on, mechanical energy, or just, the energy that exists within, family. But yes, so think about that, family. The law of attraction works. It does. I've seen it happen at first hand. It always works. But you have to master energy first. Take that as it resonates, y'all. But you have to master energy. Because if you don't master energy, What's the point when you asking for something when you don't already feel that way, y'all? I'm gonna tell you this one time, family, that you will never get anything, y'all, if you are looking for it to make you feel better. Because you must already admit that for it to come to you, you know? If you are lacking, you're creating dispositivity, you're anxious, you have anxiety, you're nervous, you're swelling, you're gonna emit that towards others because that's the energy you are projecting, yeah. So that's for what will come your way, whether you want that or not. That's why it's important to work on vibration and frequency. But now that we have talked about this subject, y'all, now let's talk about, you know, the other part of this video. So think about it like this, family. You know, with, if you want to say SR, celibacy, your energy, that's your fuel to fuel your engine, which is within you. Well, when you feel yourself with the right things, you will feel this natural high. You won't really care for anything else because you're gonna be acting out of your natural, state of mind, state of peace. You won't regret nothing, but you'll be living forwardness, ready to conquer what's next. But now that you are aware of vibration, the law of attraction, now you must work on the soul, because that's what it takes, y'all. The soul is the key, because once the key is open to the right door, you take yourself seriously, family, and you work on it. You can feed your ego, that's cool, but at least have an awareness to your life, y'all. You don't want that other being inside of you to control you, because you're giving that ego power, y'all. People say the ego is powerful because it creates things like, chaos or opposition, right? But really, y'all, it's your ego that's taking control over you, because it's controlling your soul. It's keeping your soul quiet, like that, But this was a video, family. I don't want to get too deep on it, but I want y'all to realize this too. If your vibration is high, you won't attract things that are low frequency. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I'm not gonna say that it's not 100% sure that you will or that you won't, because when you vibrate so high, when you are light, when you have mastered discipline, you live with peace, you live with clarity. Well, then you know one thing. You know that, well, I have put all this work into myself, so only I know what my standards are and what my worth is. Nobody else can dictate that for you. So that's why it's important to realize that if things don't come your way, y'all, it might not be on your frequency. Once you take this journey seriously, y'all, and you live on higher streets, you will face solitude, no matter what, because you're not like everybody else, y'all. Everybody's choosing comfort, or they're worrying, waiting, living in the moment. You're living because God gave you life, so you're gonna use that life to better you, So someone like myself, yo, you may be asking me, what is it that you see in life? What is the point of life? Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you that life is to be lived the way you wanna live it, first of all, because this is your experience. Whether you wanna evolve the soul or you wanna live in the matrix and have an experience, because you will come back eventually if you didn't master your soul and spirit as one. That's just what it is. But if you want to live in this life experience, that's fine. Experience the life experience that it grants you, because it's not meant to be here forever. It's an experience for your soul, so you can mature and climb up higher states of consciousness. But on me, when I think about life, y'all, I truly see that life is something that is unexplainable, yet we are simply experiencing it, because that's simply what life is. It didn't tell us how to get here, it didn't tell us what we are doing. Everybody just existed and they started doing their own thing. That's how deep this shit runs. And you really gotta sit back and think about it like this, because if you don't see it like that, you must ask yourself, you didn't ask to come here, y'all. Literally, you did not tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna be here to play a game, to go talk to a woman, to go work, to go, eat food. We never thought of nothing, because that was all non-existent once upon a time. It was creation at its finest. But me, on the other hand, y'all, I look at life long-term, whatever it was. I look at what ain't here already, because it is already here. When you look at it with logic, y'all, a man is driven by the way his life, seeps past him, Eventually, we all get older. We all realize this one fact about life. You can't defeat life, man, because you're not fighting life, You're experiencing it, Life was something that was never meant to be at war with. It was to accept that you are here. You can question it, but just know that you are still here, nevertheless. So you must focus on your purpose. Your purpose could be anything that you are good at or that you have ambitions towards. But this was a video of attraction, of law of attraction at that. But the energy behind what it is that you are not craving, but asking for. Say you want money. Say you want a high vibrational, energy. Say you want protectance. Say you want something that's gonna protect you. You gotta claim that energy, but you have to exude it. When you walk around, you want people to feel that off you, and that's why they admire being around you. People treat your current, or for example, when you have a high presence or a righteous presence, people treat you like you're a statue that's gold, or they treat you like $1 billion worth of somebody because they not only break their necks, but they staring at you, trying to figure you out, because you're not gonna stare at something that's not intriguing, first and foremost. But not only that, your energy gives off this, polarizing effect that makes others want to study you, because something about you makes them feel, right, Not only, let me answer that for you. When they look at you, when they think of you, when they study you, when they try to figure you out, something within them feels right about it. You know what that is? That's you living the righteous, organic way, and their soul somewhere in the abyss of their existence. It feels it. It resonates with it, and that's why deep down inside, they admire you. They might hate you on the surface, but under the waters, deep inside the crescents, that's where everything lies, y'all. But it is what it is, family. Just thank the Most High that you have energy now if you don't. And if you do, you can always get it back. But this is the law of attraction, family. And to truly master this technique, that we all have the ability to master, they must have tuned yourself to the right frequency. All that means is live lighter. Focus on things that are gonna make you laugh more and smile. Don't live so much in depression or obsession or negativity. That intensity within most people, can take control of them if they don't have mastery over it. I'm an intense person, I speak with purity and straightforwardness, because I'm not asking for much. I'm not expecting the most. All I want is truth. Because truth feeds the soul. Truth tells you what you want to hear, whether you want to hear it or not. You can't run from truth. And with truth, it sets you free. But, meditation will help you. Eating right will help you. Protecting your life force energy will help you. Because you will think like myself. Long-term jeopardy was. Because it's not about anything physical no more. You're evolving your spirit, because you care about who you truly are, which is the energy in the body, and not the physical flesh or the false identity that holds your name down, But I love y'all, man. If y'all still watch to the end of this video, man, I appreciate you deeply. And the next time, y'all, this was your attention and how it comes with, law of attraction. But I said, it's one.